everyone, my name is Amalia Muldani, and here I would like to continue the presentation of ESP Course Evaluation. And this time I would like to tell you about when and how often should evaluation take place. So the first thing that I would like to tell you is the obvious danger of doing course evaluation too frequently. Why is it dangerous to do evaluation too frequently? It is because when you're doing an evaluation, you will get a lot of evaluation from your students, for example, and then after you get the problems identified from the process of evaluation itself, you have to process it, and then you have to produce solutions to make that evaluation becomes better, and you can do better also in your class. So there will be a lot of information if it's done too frequently. Like, you get a lot of problems, you get a lot of things to do, things to revise in your class. So it will get overwhelmed for you, and for your students too. It will get inconsistency of your teaching learning process too. The next point is the danger of not doing the course evaluation are equal or even greater with doing it too frequently. Because when you not doing the evaluation, you would know whether your students are actually on the track of their goals or not, whether there is something that you miss, for example, and you didn't realize it, and you didn't know because you don't conduct the evaluation itself. So it is whether too much or too frequent, and not doing it can be dangerous too. And then the next point is, if there is no proper forum or channels for these views, it can also cause misunderstanding or even hostility. What it means is that when you don't address the evaluation, or you don't make the evaluation have a proper forum or channel for it, it can students can think that why the evaluation should be done when your job as a teacher to do it. Like, if you don't explain it to your students better and don't have a proper forum, as I said before, it can cause a misunderstanding among your students, for example. And then it is difficult to prescribe the right amount of evaluation that should be conducted. As I told you before, that when it is too frequent, or if you're not doing it, it can be dangerous. So it's a little bit tricky to determine how many times you should evaluate, or how many times you should do course evaluation. Okay, now I will tell you the suggestion from the Hutchinson and Waters of when we should actually ideally do the evaluation to our course, ESP course, I mean. The first is in the first week of the course. They suggested the first week of the course because they stated that the first week tend to be like the first impression as well. They also mentioned that this critical time tend to be have potentially determining your success of your course. And then the second one is at the regular intervals throughout the course. For example, every half term. So these times is when, for example, after you already done your term, then you do evaluation, and then another term you do evaluation again. And the third point is at the end of the course. You can also done your evaluation at the end of the course, but remember that it is potentially to be, cannot be have solution for it, because when the course is already ended, that there is no evaluation that you can do better. Yeah, Like, you cannot give your solutions from the evaluation or the problems that you identified from your courses. And the last thing is after the course. Hutchinson and Waters stated that this is the most vulnerable situation, since the learners will be a position to judge how well the course prepared for them, for the target situation they are now in. So when it's conducted after the end of the course or after the course, it will potentially you know make you in a position where you are tested whether you already prepared the course well or not. There are some things that you have to consider or you have to keep in mind about course evaluation. The first is, you have to know that evaluation is time consuming, and it also complex and also frustrating, because there will be possibly a lot of problems that you have to deal with, that you have to find the solution, you have to solve it, and it can be really frustrating for some people. There is a possible changes of the problems identified have no solid solutions, and rather the solution is possibly to be more expensive or to be hard for the parties to be accepted. So when we look for the solutions of the problems identified, it can be really challenging whether others can accept it or not, whether it is really hard to be executed or anything else. The last thing that you have to keep in mind, that in some other part of the world or for some people, evaluation can be considered as a sign of incompetence of the teacher. Some people might think that evaluation is the job of the teachers. Then they will think that why we have to do it by ourselves when it is your job to do it. It is potentially to be like that. So you have to know about your students too. You have to be ready for every potential problems and danger that might occur when you do the course evaluation. Okay, now that's it from me. Thank you.